Hey guys, it's Chris, and I went to Micro Center. I picked up not at Micro Center, an Amiga 3000 power supply, but it's missing the spring and the button thing, and it's, that sucks, so I'm at the 3D print one of those on the old junk printer. But I got myself an anti-static grounding mat. It was on sale in the clearance crap for $11.96. That way I don't have to wear the prison bracelet anymore, and I don't have to use a floor mat. I'm going to get that out of the way. Just toss that on the floor. So for my first project, not Amiga 2.0, I went there originally with the intention of getting some bling Mr. T for the 3640 here. So let me get the anti-static mat thing in place first. I think it's green. Yep, it's green, and it's nice and small, so it's perfect for me. I'm going to have to weigh this down, and, because that's not going to work too well. I didn't want a really super big one because I'm never working on something that large electronically. So I got a fan. The idea is, since this one is so pimp-tastic large, I'm actually going to take this off and do something to it. If it'll work, I'm going to take it to my grinder outside, and I'm going to shave off about 50% of this just to get it down so this fan can fit. I also got another 40 by 40 by 10. This is a smaller fan, but it's thinner just by a couple millimeters, and when I shave it down, it'll actually be able to fit on the 3640 screw in. I mean, this one's working right to the edge though. There's no way this is going to fit underneath the 3000 without some modifications to the case, which leads me to my next thing. I did recap the 3640. I put new caps on them, and C105, 6, and 7 I reversed to the reverse. So negative on the cap to the positive on the silk screen. Looks like this. I don't know if you can really get a C on there, but the silk screening on these is backwards for C105, 105, 6, and 7. So those three got to be reversed. The others are fine, and I had to put small 3mm caps on these because these dill pickles just could not get in there. So there are 2021 compliant Panasonic caps to the original ones from whatever quality they used back in the day. It's dark as heck over here because I forgot to turn the lights on. My apologies on that. The idea is to bang into the tripod and move it to the Omnibot. What I want to do is I'm going to use this thermal adhesive tape, cut myself out some, and this is actually starting to think about, you're supposed to ground this to something. Hold this Omnibot. There you go. That's good. So I know it's not grounded. It's okay. So I need to cut out some heat sinks. So I went and got some Raspberry Pi copper heat sinks, and I wonder if I could reuse these bags. Yep. Yeah, the out there. Yeah, that sounded redneck. The idea is to use these to cover up the gals and pals with some type of heat. Oh, they actually come with thermal tape, so I don't even need to. Even better. My thermal tape is probably superior to them. I did pick up 3 bags of these, so this is $15 in heat sinks. Yes, I know I can get them on eBay cheaper, and I do have some somewhere, but I couldn't find them, so I drove 80 miles round trip and got some new ones. So I'm going to sort these as to the best quality. Probably the big 3 super nice copper ones will go on the hottest of the bunch, which are U400, U203, U213, and U211. So these 4 guys at the top, these get hot. Now U209 gets pretty hot too, but I'll still gonna put some heat sinks on there. Sticking to the copper ones. On these last plate ones, I'm probably not gonna use. Maybe, I don't know. Now, the next stupid thing I want to do actually involves the case, and it's kind of sacrilegious. I'm thinking about it. I don't know. On the front of the 3000, over there in Messyland, I'm going to try and zoom in with my mess. underneath the keyboard there's the vent slots, but behind that, as I showed in a previous video, there's just a solid wall. There's no way for air to get up except for a little bit around the 2 floppy drives underneath, but not a lot. Nothing over here, nothing. It's got vents that do nothing. They might suck in some cold air and dust into the floppy drives, but they're sealed. There's nothing in the back to let the air out. The 3000 has a fan that goes across the plate, but it only pulls air in from the back side like the 4000. I understand the idea. It was a different time and heat wasn't a major concern, but when you're putting a larger processor in like a 40 or an 060, you're going to run into some heat issues and you're going to run into some airflow issues. The 4000 I think is really bad. I know is really bad on airflow. This card works fine as long as it's cool. When it starts to heat up, it gets crazy. I don't know why. That's why we're doing this. So we're getting there, starting to look like Mr. T. I wish they were all gold, but I have some aluminum ones here, 3 more coppers. Why are you putting an 040 card in your 3000? Why not? I don't use my Amigas, I guess, that much. I do use them, but I have so many of them, to divvy out your time between all of them is virtually impossible. So I pick one of each model to keep out, and I have multiples of every model. I don't have any 2000s on this side because the 4 that I have are over on the other side right now. And wouldn't you know it, if I would have just looked in the drawer where I was going to look, I would have found the heat sinks. That's the only thing I could think of. They're really low profile, and with a fan on them, I think they're going to work. So I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see. Where's my screwdrivers for? Now I'm going to remove that silver paste and I'm going to use adhesive tape, because that stuff turns into this crap and doesn't run everywhere, and that will be enough. So that is the idea, and that's it. I don't have tape hanging out everywhere like my other one. I might have a little bit, but I can trim it with a razor knife. I don't really care. Is it straight? Yeah, it's straight enough for me. My googly eyes. I'm going to clean up this mess, and we're going to put this in as is with the heat sinks and see how it acts. Look at that. So I can use the original thing to help hold the backside down. Maybe I should stagger them a bit. But, it does put pressure on there, and it'll flick one end up probably. Now the 4000, I put a fan kind of shoved in the card riser. Maybe I can do that on this one too. It's a little tighter on the 3000. Okay, well, thanks. Alright, so we're back. I took all the cards out, riser. I'm ready to remove the case, but I wanted to show you something. So you recall when I was speaking earlier about the vents here in the front, you can see right through them. That's just great. But as you can tell by the metal here, what does it vent to? Possibly right here, underneath here, here, and here. That's not a lot of room. I was thinking about cutting this out. I mean, this is my Amiga. No one is ever getting this as long as I'm alive. Just opening this up, that would allow airflow straight through and actually suck out the back, actually creating some flow. What are your thoughts on that? Yes, I'm going to leave the lip for the metal, just something around here or just around the CPU side. It doesn't have to be large, just something to get some kind of air movement in here. Maybe even you can mount a small fan, mesh it, laser cut, water jet. I don't know. I'm just eyeballing. Take some measurements when I get this apart. It's just an idea, just a thought. I'm just thinking about it. So here is what I'm talking about. Just right in this area. Because when I put the 3640 on here, now it's going to be screwed down and all that stuff and tight anyway. Then you're literally right up against the wall. So it would have to be right here, right in this area. Maybe just buzz this out. Something that would, I don't know, just an idea, folks. Something over here, maybe just a couple holes. Maybe I could just perforate some holes, drill, so it would look like this. It's just an idea. Some people call it sacrilege. I don't want to cause the Spanish Inquisition for a request. So in advance, I need to set my jumpers. The jumpers on this turd are right here. We're going to take a temperature reading on the CPU. 101 degrees. 89 degrees on U400. 98 on 203. 213 is 122. U211, 113. Whatever that one is. U209, 123 and climbing. U401, 120. 204, 121. U205, 106. U207, 110. So they're quite warm, nothing in the 300s. Which is fine. If I can get a fan on here and get some air movement. I mean, this is quite warm. 100 degrees is, if you hold your hand, it's going to burn your hand. So anyway, let me take a chill because my kid wants me to run at McDonald's. It's currently 9:50 p.m. So let me go do that, and I'll come back to this. Okay, so I'm back from McDonald's getting a milkshake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this off with it's nice to know that the new, well, not new, new to me, spare power supply works. This is what I was talking about, how the fan hangs down. See how that hangs below the power supply? That's to suck air underneath the cage, which is a great idea if there was something to suck air from. You can see here that I have enough room with the heatsink, with the reduced, with the reduced heatsink. You can see here in the silver, I have enough clearance. I can stick the screwdriver almost on top of it. If I had airflow, that would draw some air across. But for now, it does clear, and the other heatsink was right up to the top. Maybe that was a good thing. It could use the dissipation from this to further it. I don't know. But it really was tight getting it in there. Okay. So I'm back together. I gotta tuck in some cables here to make this go over nicely. Should boot off the GoTech. Amiga test kit should load. Sometimes it crashes Amiga test kit. Memory. Let's test the fast RAM. 2.1. So it passed. I could back up and test chip RAM. That's a fast one. So chip RAM passes there. I'm going to go back here to the floppy drive. We're going to choose DF0, and we're going to do a head calibration test. 11 of 11. I have a disk in there. And then we'll go DF1, head calibration test. 11 of 11. And of course the GoTech is always going to be right. See GoTech, it saw it, 11, 11. So that's fine. Both of these disks, and we're going to do a system reset, booting from the internal hard drive. A lot of times when I exit Amiga test kit, it craps out. DF2 uninitialized, that's fine. I'm going to write this 80F here. Image to disk, DF0, 880K, just so I have it. I like to have it on a floppy. Great program, I like it. There's many that do the same thing. I just wanted to support the author, and anything new created for the Amiga, I try my best to support just to keep it alive, you know? What's $6? A Starbucks coffee? Oh, it popped down here. Okay, image successfully written. And then we're just going to go ahead and quit. And I'm going to reboot with the disk and not doing anything. Disk and DF0. I want to see if it loads Amiga test kit. Awesome. Works fine. It's in PAL. You can tell because it's on the old... let's try something. I'm going to boot it in PAL. Whoops. Spacebar. This monitor supports PAL and boot. Booting DF0, PAL. Now we'll be back up. Now we're normal. We're normal to everybody in Europe or PAL. So kind of nice. We'll let this boot one more time, just to make sure it's all sorted before you go and you know, put the cover back on. And then I'm gonna test it after I put the other screws in, just to make sure we're good. I'm at 040 now. Yay! And the heat sinks seem to be doing a good job. I need to let it run for an extended time with the lid on, just to be sure And I have to get the new version of sysinfo. I got an Ethernet card. You figure I'd just plug it in. I just gurued. Guess we're getting hot. Let's bust out the Luke Skywalker here. Oh, I was still in PAL. Let's turn this off. Turn it back on. Take a temperature reading. 86.3 on the CPU. 94 with the fan blowing on them. I need to do a stress test. Hit a reboot. Let it run. It's 10:44 p.m. now. Got the old super dark screensaver running. Just gotta let her go. See how it does. I still have to put it back together. So let me shut it down and put the screws in. Boots a lot faster. So there we go. 3.2, 16 megs around, 2 megs a chip. One more time. Run speed test. This is where it's going to get crazy because the lid's on now. There's no air movement unless there's some magic happening. Somehow, I literally feel no air. You know, why would I? I'll load super dark. Just load some stuff up to kind of keep it going here. Mega Ball. I love Mega Ball. Don't have my sound hooked up. Just playing some Mega Ball. My 040. Look at that. I played it in 2019. 2000. Iceman was my BBS handle. PC Task 4. Let's see. Should run a lot better now with. Okay, so there we go. There's my Amiga OS 3.2 Amiga 3000. Now with an 040. So we got her sorted. I don't know about its stability yet. Got to do some extended runtime testing. But anyway, it actually works. It boots a lot faster. Everything seems to be okay for now. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to do some extended testing. I'm going to get it back on the bench. Get some updates for it. I forget what I got on each one because they're all their own thing, and I forget who has what and what versions of what. So many new things have come out. I've been doing a lot of other Amigas. I hope this helps someone out there somewhere, some way with jumper settings, or can it fit, or the heatsink mods, or what do you think about the air flow idea? Maybe just start off with drilling some holes, make them look nice. Not with some drastic cuts, just something to get some kind of flow through these vents, because you saw they go nowhere. Yep. Cooling wasn't a consideration when you're only 25 megahertz, but now I like to keep things a little cooler. There's no fan in here, minus what's in the back. I don't know if I can even fit this thin fan on because you saw I only have a little bit of room. How would it get air to even blow on the chip? So that is all I have for now. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting my videos and me and this channel. It's greatly appreciated. Helps keep us going. Look for more videos in the future, and as always, I hope you learned something.